following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, into the breach do we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So, what do we have happening here? Oh, man. Okay, there it is. Just had a little problem with my levels today. Okay, so what do we have? Market's down a little bit. As I said, for the last 7-8 days, the market is tired, but I wouldn't go short. Still think that if you did want to go short, you're still a week or more away. Fund buying starts today. It is not uncommon to see sector rotation, i.e. sell what you don't want today or starting today and start rolling over to the stuff you do want. So it's exit stage left for the crud. The stuff that rises to the top is going to probably be the stuff you look at buying here the next few days. And again, going to be fun buying all the way through the end of this week. So there isn't a lot of stuff that you can do. You could actually say that fund buying could actually go into the 5th because it's the first 3 days. But my guess is that we're going to get all that fund buying kind of done early out here, because what do they want to do today or tomorrow? They want to get in any kind of thing that's going to bounce on the terms of a new spending bill for huge infrastructure spending. So, well, I would imagine that most of those stocks have already been front run, and there's probably not a whole lot left in them, but they'll get a few suckers to go and bite. They'll also find some people that shorted them a little early, and they'll squeeze them out. So that will kind of be the introduction to the start of fund buying, but I suspect if we don't see it at the end of the day, we're going to continue to see more industrial, iron, trucking, anything Caterpillar are going to be the ones that people rotate into. Doesn't mean they have to go higher, but does mean that they will be the target of buying instead of selling. And then, of course, we go into the first of the month. So that really takes us kind of into the 5th. We've got big earnings coming out on Thursday and after the bell. So Friday will be kind of exciting. We're kind of priced for perfection in a lot of these stocks. But, if you get enough bad news, let's say like Apple and Intel, and then don't deliver on that bad news as everybody promised you to, you can see some big moves. What is Intel ticking out here? $50.44. So on a day where everything's selling, you're still seeing Intel up. My guess is that's going to be for a couple more days. Had huge short interest going into earnings, and everybody's on the wrong side of that. So they're just going to wait, stand there and hold their breath until the shorts decide to give up and cover on the odd chance that Intel even goes higher. But you never really know. But it looks pretty good. So what else do we have happening? Well, yeah, we're off 9 on the S&P, but that's off about half of what we did have, wasn't it? I think that's going to say. Silver's off 31 cents. What else do we have? The bond's very interesting. The VIX is a little higher, but I suspect the VIX is going to creep higher probably for the rest of this year. But it's going to be so low that you probably can't make big money on it on the leverage stuff, except maybe a handful of things. Off 19 on the NASDAQ. But again, my guess is that we're probably going to see a little bit of selling in technology for the next 2 days. And then, of course, a ramp into earnings on Thursday. So we'll see how that pans out. Volume has been good and is kind of light today, actually, comparatively. Only about 2 billion shares on the NYSE consolidated tape. So if we want to look at this as a pullback to the 28.55 level, it was on light volume so far. So don't have a lot to hang your hat on. Stocks keep making 52-week highs, and just getting to the point where things look a little silly, but can always go higher. I ended up cashing out of another one of my positions in the Tech Insider. We were in that thing, what, 23 or 24 bucks, and sold out probably around 40 bucks today, maybe a little higher, depending on when you sold. So we've got some big wins out here to start the new year off as sector rotation moves into some of these other stocks. I've got some ones that I think are going to have some nice runs in the daily newsletter. I'm looking to get some more positions. Kind of hard to buy a lot of tech stocks at the highs and expect anything but diminishing returns. But I got a couple positions that I think we'll wake up one day and feel very good about. And then some long-term stuff like gold, still like gold. Probably going to like gold the rest of the year. Not going to trade in and out of it. I just like sitting on my hands on that. And what else do we have? Well, we got history, and we like to start the show off with history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. Oh, there we go. I kept on messing everything up because I was turning up the wrong thing. Maybe that sounds a little better now. I hear a little static. Okay. Well, on this day in 1964, Stanley Kubrick's black comic masterpiece, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, opens up in theaters to both critical and popular acclaim. The movie's popularity was evidence of changing attitudes toward atomic weapons and the concept of nuclear deterrence. The movie focused on the actions of a rogue U.S. officer who believes communists are threatening the precious bodily fluids of America. Well, we all know how that feels, don't we? Or is it just me? Without authorization, he issues orders to U.S. bombers to launch the atomic attacks against the Soviet Union. And, of course, everybody is petrified that there's a mine shaft gap.
I agree, Mr. President. In fact, they might even try an immediate sneak attack so they could take over our mine shaft space.
Yeah, I think it'd be extremely naive of us, Mr. President, to imagine that these new developments are going to cause any change in Soviet expansionist policy. I mean, we must be increasingly on the alert to prevent them from taking over other mine shaft space in order to breed more prodigiously than we do, thus knocking us out in superior numbers when we emerge. Mr. President, we must not allow a mine shaft gap.
Nope, we shouldn't allow a mine shaft gap. And be protective of your precious bodily fluids, if you're an American, of course. Anything else going on out here? On the political side, we're waiting for that speech tomorrow night that's all about that. We also have one of the biggest bombshells, probably in political corruption. So, what do you think's going on? I don't know if it's going to move the markets until tomorrow. Got some things, another shoe ready to drop in Washington, D.C., so we'll see how they react to that. And we'll be back and look at charts.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And there's a question in the den about maybe somebody, the U.S. nationalizing the cellular network here in the United States. This is on the back of China doing everything it can to use any technology they build in China to be able to use as a NSA-like bugging device for us. And the president says maybe we should nationalize this system so we can keep an eye on it and keep Chinese products out that may be used to compromise national security. We know that the Russians used the virus protection software to do that. We also know that some of the phones, some routers that were made in China have been preloaded with their NSA, I don't know what it's called, to use against the people in the United States, especially business. And the question is, how long can you build stuff in China, knowing that they're loading this stuff up with stuff, not to defeat the U.S. military, but actually to bug everybody's Fortune 500 company. And why we kind of did it, and we don't like it being done to us. And there's a little bit of that in it, but we know that they bugged phones and put malware on phones and shipped it to the U.S. From the get-go. We've known that China has been incredibly effective in getting into that business. Russia, not so much, because, of course, they don't make anything. They're not in the supply line of building. And that's basically what we're looking at. There's kind of the move, especially technology move for Apple and others, is to get away from China being able to tell them what to do. Qualcomm was in that kind of business for a while. We're seeing Qualcomm kind of hang around these highs as its buyout from from Avago / Broadcom kind of hanging out there. My guess is they're going to see the next bid is going to be 85 or 90, somewhere in that range. But you got to keep an eye on just how, at least for trading stocks, about how security goes. But, is it? No. I mean, we go right on to that, to what I reported on over 5 years ago, and everybody's acting like is a brand new story today, and that is that you can buy and sell followers on Twitter. That's been known since those guys went public. Same thing on Facebook. It's in their prospectus, so it's not something that's ever been hid. They say it's always been an issue on whether or not we can tell whether or not our customers are real or not, or bots. They really don't care as long as it drives engagement. There was a great book that I read, talked about in the Tech Insider, about how people go out of their way to irritate readers, because those readers will then go ahead and post and get more engaged. Whole thing is just to keep people all in a constant war with each other and try to make a profit off either side. These guys have been caught with their hands in the cookie jar forever. So a lot of people talking about net neutrality. There was a great article over the weekend talking about social media neutrality. And, when you look at the videos of Twitter engineers talking about how they go after speech from opposing opinions, yeah, there's enough room to go around for everyone. As I said many times, one of the greatest movies of all time, The Unforgiven, about 1993, 1992, with Clint Eastwood, where literally everybody is horrible. It kind of makes me think of my Sunday school training, where all of us have sinned, and nobody's that great. But a lot of people pretend to be. But yeah, you can buy 20,000 or 100,000 users. It was 100,000 followers for Twitter for $10, and you could get lots of engagement for $20. But I talked about that a long time ago, where in Vietnam they have, when you sell your old computer, it goes to Vietnam if it's still functional. They put on these things that they buy for $50 with a monitor that gets shipped over there. They've got a lot of people working here in the United States. They'll ship all that stuff over, get it working, just so they can pay somebody 5 cents or 10 cents an hour to respond, move back, do things, and just type on a keyboard. And in fact, I saw one guy, when he looked at all the negative press he was getting at one time, 90% of it was coming from two countries, Monaco and Vietnam. And of course, he only broadcast in English. It's kind of surprising to see that he got all that action from two little countries, 90% of all the action from two little states. He found out that there was somebody running a opposition group against him and using these guys. If you're over there in Hollywood, Florida, I think it's not Hollywood. It's Hollywood. The guy's got a business. If you read the article today, he's been around town. He put pictures on his websites of a big office in downtown in New York City and Manhattan. But he actually is right above a taco joint. He's made some $7 million selling followers for Facebook and the rest. But it's nothing but propaganda. It always has been propaganda. The only difference is it's a lot easier to see if you're looking for it now. And everybody's going to be in everybody else's business, which is both good and bad. Free speech has never been more easy to get and more opposed at the same time, mostly by the big folks in Silicon Valley who have a political belief, and they're going to use their power to go after it, what they don't like, what they don't think, what their employees don't like. And like I said, in The Unforgiven, no one comes out of that movie looking good. There's killers and prostitutes and the sheriff. Everybody's horrible. And I think this kind of gets it. But no new story here because, as I've said before, we'll look at Facebook and Twitter real quick. They, from the get-go, kind of go after people that are narcissists to begin with, right? Look at me, look at me, look at me. I can see some businesses being on Facebook, engaging with their customers, that kind of stuff. I don't understand the proposition of people who go after follow the Kardashians. Is that kind of just a pure interest? Certainly narcissistic personalities are the ones that rule. And what was the football? I was reading that article again this morning. The football player, Ray Rice, is that who it was? 90% of his followers were false. He blamed his manager for buying all the fake followers. But you never know. Anyway, Facebook is up here at the top. Is it going to do well? Well, we'll have to hear what they have to say. Depends on how far they want to go actually to get correct. We'll look at Twitter when we come back. Twitter's just a buyout candidate. Everybody's talking about it being bought out. That's why it's been up a little bit. Facebook down a little bit today. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Had some emails and even the engineer chiming in here about Facebook and the Twitter, as John McCain used to call it, the Twitter. Anyway, basically the comment was that you don't even have to be a person to get an account on Twitter, and that's correct. But you also don't have to be a real person on Facebook. They just take pictures, slightly modify them, and put them on other accounts. So they're phony accounts either way. Yeah, I mean, you can have a Twitter account that's locked to all kinds of things, devices and other things like that. I don't see where that's a big deal. To me, the outright shadow banning on Twitter makes them a little bit more odorous. That Facebook has had their hands caught twice or three times in the cookie jar for molesting free speech. I'm going to have to give Facebook, it's almost a tie between Twitter and Facebook of who gets the book burning award, but both of them are pretty horrible. As I said, nobody comes out of this good. This is kind of the unforgiven out here where a lot of people have a lot of money and they've let it go to their heads. I think Zuckerberg is at least on the surface the most visible one that is doing a mea culpa. We don't hear anything from Twitter other than everybody's a liar, and those people that were on all those videos telling us how they were molesting free speech. Well, they really just weren't speaking for us. Well, unfortunately, they had 9 of your engineers, past and present, saying how you malign free speech. So, again, this stuff is like a gun. It can be used for protection or evil. And the people that are making them, it's not that they quite don't care. They do care. They're willing to use it for evil. And this is only a drop in the bucket compared to what they're doing compared to what the Russians are doing. So is it peak social media? Man, it smells close, doesn't it? I think that they're all going to have to figure out a way to live in more harmoniously, but tough to see. Okay, so Facebook will shut down an account if it finds it's a fake. Yes. How many have they shut down? They shut down 1. There's 5 more in its place. So it doesn't matter. The problem is in the United States, it's hard to get them because they want them linked to your cell phone. But in the rest of the world, they don't care. So if you can get a presence over there, like a virtual private network that runs out of there, so your IP address looks like you come from one of those countries that they like, but don't really care if they have a phone number attached to it, that's fine with them. So they just go. It's kind of like going to the airport. They have security theater. They rough up ladies in wheelchairs and everything else. And is it really any more secure? No, but everybody makes you want to feel that you're more secure. It's called security theater, but and not a whole lot. Anyway, we got Rob. Rob does not say where he's from, so he's from Luch, Florida. Please tell me where you're from. That makes it much easier for me to figure out and remember you. Looking at shorting OSTK, this thing went up a lot higher. I'm always nervous of these companies that change the reason for being, and Overstock.com was kind of an also-ran, went sideways for a long time. Of course, we're all Bitcoin now. We're all blockchain. I don't know how that makes them any more money than when they were plain old Overstock.com. Maybe if they took some Bitcoin currency. I don't know how blockchain really helps Overstock.com. So the question is, do you think that this thing could be a good short? I think the answer is yes. But again, as I've said before, when you see these tightening ranges, the best thing to do is wait. Let's go ahead and draw one of these and bring it back here so I can draw over it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just draw some lines out here. This is what I'm kind of seeing right here, right? We go back to this $58 low. And if you can get 2/3 of the way through one of these triangles, it's normally going to be an 80% chance that you want to, that the first move is going to be a head fake. This is why I bought gold. It did the exact same thing down there in the 1240 range. The same thing I would do with overstock. If it gaps lower, I probably would not short it. If it gaps higher and it does some very light volume pushes higher, I would be there. If it hits 90, you have a problem, because if it hits 90, they can run it to 100. We talked about that last week and the week before. You basically have a fairly decent pattern out here. This thing was the gap up to like 88 bucks. Volume was nothing for the last 2 hours of the day, and it just held up there. You saw a bunch of shorts cover on this thing, and then it kind of rolled back down that day. That's a good sign that basically they just ran all the shorts and it's over. So my guess is when you see this thing and it's going to give you a signal, you're probably going to have about an hour, hour and a half to pull the trigger and have any kind of risk reward on it. And the risk reward goes away at 90 bucks. You kind of have a draw where this thing wants to go to 100 or go back down to this. Now, where would it go? I think you're right. I would love to be short this thing for it to go back down to 45. I think there's a good opportunity for it to go back down to 45. So if you could get the right price on puts, especially if this thing would come up here to like 89 bucks with no juice, and you could get some people to jump out of their puts on this thing, maybe 10 bucks lower, and you buy them for a nickel or a quarter or 50 cents, depending on how long you want to go, get some deep out of the money puts on this. I think that would be the way to play it. And above 90 bucks, once you get into 90 bucks, just avoid or stop out. So no play here, either short or long. And my thought would be, man, you're going to be lucky if this thing gaps up for one day and rolls over. And that I would say probably back to the $45 level. So you can be like Rob. I don't mean that you can be from Lutz, Florida, but you can email me at path@tfnn.com. Give me a call at 877-927-6648 and all kinds of other things. So anyway, overstock.com, yep, probably. How long does this take? I wouldn't push it. I would just wait for it to come to you. I think a lot of people just keep shorting this market, and I don't see a top until they quit. We'll be back in a minute. Remember to give me a call. I'd love to hear your dulcet tones. 877-927-6648.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And what else do we have? Well, we got a buyout in DPS, which I kind of like because it was the name of my old company, but actually that's just Dr. Pepper up higher. So I don't know if there's a lot to say about that. Intel's kind of holding up here nice. My guess is that you got a couple more days for it to hold up here. A lot of people short. One of the things I did want to get to were two things. The first one was oil rigs on Friday. I didn't see them, didn't talk about them on Friday. Oil rigs were up sharply 12 to 759. Horizontal rigs were up 9 to 662. So you got a lot of supply getting ready to come online very shortly. And anytime you get the price up to this level, you're going to find a lot more of these things on. It is a supply and demand business. One of the other things we talked about that kind of went away for a handful of days was these REITs. We talked about how these things broke through the previous March 10th low, did get back into the trading range early last week, and now are headed back down to retest the lows below this March 10th low. So you certainly have that. My guess is it's going to break out this 78.20 from January 19th. So if you're looking for the weakest sector right now, it certainly looks to be in builders, and we got a few more of those reporting this week. These REITs, and I don't think you can use a brush to paint them all with. It looks to me much like someone called and asked, was it right before Christmas or right after, what I thought about builders. And it's going to be whether or not you're in Nevada, Texas, or Florida. If you're in those states, you're going to make a lot of money as a builder. If you're in other states, I went to get my driver's license renewed. A line of people, I mean a line of people, and a parking lot full of California license plates. And I know we've had some DIN people call in talking about how they moved to Las Vegas. But got a ton of people down here actually coming in. So, you make it tough enough, people are eventually going to pick up and leave. We're getting a huge influx of people from California right now. So I thought that was anecdotally interesting. I don't know how long that lasts, but at least for what I could see, a ton of people showing up. Anyway, these REITs, especially in those areas that are going to be hardest hit, like California, some of the other ones, Illinois, huge debts for the states, and not much of a grasp on reality for the problems that they face. What I see, LA has 57,000 people living on the street. But they got a lot of other things they're more concerned with. So, you know, as long as they kind of ignore reality, I suspect you're going to have a lot more people moving out of those areas of the country. And so look for builders in those 3 states. I think we're going to be the strongest of the bunch. Yes, I know Tammy from Reno has lived there forever. Okay. Anyway, very interesting. Just, you know, the low tax state of Nevada, everybody wants to go there if they're getting, if they're facing issues in California that make it odorous to stay there as a business owner. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, talked about VNQ. And what else did I want to talk about? It was something that was burning on my mind. And now I forgot. I probably should have written it down. Oh, it is. Okay, thank you. We had some people out here. My question on TLT, I said for a while that I suspect that this thing was going to come and blow out this low and go back down to the 116 level. You've got 119.91, which is the next level. I suspect we're going to see that either late this week or next week. And I suspect that we see the 115.98 from March 13th of last year retested. The energy just so much stronger off this December 5th high. And the TLT tells me that this thing wants to come back and test the 116. So I'm suspecting much lower on the TLT, and that's probably in the next 7 to 10 days. I think we've got that. It may take a little longer to get down there. These things move slowly. But I don't think this thing bounces off this level. I think it at least goes to 119.91, probably hovers around there, and then we get yet another big gap down in the TLT lower. And not exactly sure why, but certainly if you just looked at the chart, my reading of it shows that. Kind of a dome top, yeah. I wasn't a big dome top fan. There was a guy that used to be around called Bob Carver. I don't know if he's still around. Let me Google his name here. B-O-B Carver. Stocks. This is an American audio engineer. I met that Bob Carver too. I had a phased linear amplifier. He was a smart guy. Market Clues. Yeah, it still looks like it's there. That's the name of his website. Anyway, it doesn't look like he's around anymore. Anyway, Bob Carver had a thing he called a polytrend top. And it is if you put a contact lens on it, he did it. This is more of a kind of a triple top out here, that where you didn't quite go and retest the highs. The energy just wasn't there, but the energy on this last down leg was, and that would tell me that this thing is ready to go down, test the 119.91 low and back to 115.98. But maybe if I Googled polytrend top, I like those a little bit more than a dome top. This one's actually a triple top to me, but I know how interpretations vary. Okay, what else do we have out here? Of course, IYT is probably going to be what we're watching for going into the speech tomorrow night. This is kind of pulled off the top. It looks like it could be setting up a monster ABC to the upside. I don't know if it's all been, I kind of think it's all been front run from here. This started November 15th, where it really started looking like the tax bill would pass. And by, 1st of December, it looked fairly good. And that's kind of where I turned around thinking that these things were going to be problematic. I mean, that it would be problematic that the tax bill wouldn't pass. Started to get the I think I can, then I know I can, got up to 206.73, got a pullback back here. But man, that's not much of a pullback. I'll do the ABC while we're on and take a look at it. This thing breaks 206.73. You can have a monster move in this transportation average. And if you're moving lots of steel, you got to transport it. Lots of concrete, you got to move it.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Achievers rise above the rest, and when they see an opportunity, they take action. Massive action. Achievers capitalize on every resource in order to experience success at its absolute max. And on Wednesday, January 31st, from 5 to 6 p.m., I'll share with subscribers of Mastering Probability how to achieve even more success with the extraordinary tools that I use to call the markets. These tools predicted the Ebola 2015 stock market bottom, the December 2017 gold bottom, why subscribers added to their mining positions this month as well. Learn the pattern that projects the Dow's next upside target of 30,740. Folks, great moments were born from great opportunity. So don't miss this opportunity to take advantage of my 30-day money-back guarantee for Mastering Probability. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com. Sign up today and reserve your spot for the ultimate subscriber event.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And what do we have? Well, we're off 11, 12 points. Dow's off 114. Was NASDAQ 25 points. So we got a little pause out here. Not uncommon to see that going into fund buying, where kind of sell what you don't want now so that you can move to what you do want in the next couple of days. Just because we go into fund buying doesn't mean that we get higher prices, although I think we do. It pretty much means, though, that short opportunities are far and few in between, pretty much through the third of the month. And then, we're back to next week. Depends on how much bounce we get. Going to be, do I think that there's a huge amount of money to the upside here? No. Do I think that we can kind of play around? A lot of these sectors are very tired, including energy. Yes. So, could we just stay up here for a week, week and a half? I think we could. I don't see any signals. I don't see anything that moves. When we look at the IYT, as I said before, you've got what, a 24% pullback off the 206.73 high. That's from January 16th. What you would really like is this thing to pull back to 190. I don't know if you're going to get that, especially if we see a huge number tomorrow night on what they want to spend for the infrastructure bill. I don't know we're going to get that number, but my guess is two things are going to happen. One, everybody's going to want to be in Caterpillar yet again, or other things, John Deere, anything that moves lots of stuff. Trains probably do well, some other stuff. Anything that moves heavy equipment, that kind of stuff. The second part of that certainly would be that, you may want to sell the news. So, when that happens, we'll take a look at it. You don't have much of a pullback here. I wouldn't be jumping back into it just because you don't have that much room to the upside. I think there's probably a better than not change test 206.73 on the IYT. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.